Welcome my boys and girls, I hope you're all doing good, having a great day. Before we dive into the build themselves, as always, showcasing the gameplay first. You guys can see this is Forgotten Tower, Inferno 9, Challenge Dungeon, everything is elite. This build is designed to have 100% critical hit chance for a wizard and having some mobility as well, so we can move through these monsters quickly, tagging them with damage over time and finishing them off with a lot of burst damage. This is being done solo right now. Of course, you will be playing in a party of 4, that way it is going to be a lot easier. But right now what you're seeing is done with 4,500 reso at the moment. And right after this, we will be diving into the skills that we were using. Warband Bonus, Paragon 3, set items we're using, important stats, Reforge, curse items, and everything that you would need to get this build working. But I have been using this from past a couple of days. Really comfortable to play as well. You don't need to break your fingers. And this build is going to be one of the best out there right now if you're looking for some easy build to play on your device, or some relaxing build to play. But now let's dive into the training dummy test to see the amount of damage we can get. Then we're gonna dive into everything that is needed to get this build working. Let's go for 1 minute damage test. You guys will be able to see we might not be getting the best damage, the highest single target damage here, but one thing is extremely important. This build will be extremely comfortable to play and it will not break your fingers. And we have enough damage here to do most of PvE content, if I dare say so myself. A decent amount of damage. And if you don't have all these gems, then you can of course go and use a 1-star and 2-star legendary gem with a combination of few 5-star gem along the way and still get a decent amount of damage to do most of the content at pretty decent pace. We're gonna go for a couple of seconds more here, hitting the dummy, and then at 1 minute I'll let you guys see the amount of damage we get. I think it's still gonna be pretty decent. Like I said, might not be the highest, but still decent enough to do most of the content. And as for the legendary gems, this is what I end up using. Seeping Bile, not the best gem here. You can go use something else, but I wanted to apply some dot, and so I am using this. So you can go and use something else like Fervent Fang, that will give you a lot more damage. Next, I was using Pain Clasp at rank 8. Then we have the Bloodsoaked Jade for some damage and movement speed increase. Horned Coil at rank 6. Then Colossus Engine. We have the Rolling Consequence. If you don't have Rolling Consequence, then go and use the Mother Lament. But we don't need to use both at the same time in this build. We already hitting that cap. And then we have the Blood Flow. And then the Spectre Glass. Another really important thing that as we will be hitting monsters, our critical hit chance is indeed going to stay at 100%. I end up dying and I had around 81% critical hit damage as well. That actually goes up and down, but the critical hit chance is going to be around 80% or 100% as we will be going through the monsters and just keep tagging them with the damage over time. I thought this was important to showcase, and now let's dive into everything that we need to get this build working. Starting with the skills that we will be using: Magic Missile, Lightning Nova, Slow Time, Disintegrate, and Meteor. As for the Paragon, this is how the Paragon is set up. You can try and play with few different nodes. That is going to be totally fine. Use whatever you think gives you the best amount of damage, and this is what I am using. You can try and deactivate this and go with a bit more damage from a distance, but use whatever works the best for you. As for the Warband Bonus, if you want to maximize the damage, go with the attacker. If we want to maximize the movement speed, then go with the protector, and make sure that you have the remnant that increase the character size. If you don't know, having a bigger character size in Diablo Immortal means that your character will be moving a bit quicker. Now for the cursed item, this is what we are using to apply some bleeding every 9 seconds, especially if we see a lead pack or when we fighting bosses. We will be applying the bleeding to them every 9 seconds, and other two pieces doesn't matter. This is something I use for PvP. And for the Reforge bonuses, this is how I have my Reforge bonus set up for this build here. Attack speed increase, duration of beneficial effects, critical damage or skill damage, primary attack damage. You can also try and play with this and use whatever gives you the best amount of damage. And now some other important stats that we can try and get. That is going to be the critical hit chance. Try and get as much critical hit chance on your character as possible that you can obtain from helm, shoulder, main weapons, and offhand. Also, you can try and get some more critical hit chance from the runes here. If you get 2 runes, that is going to give you 8% critical hit chance, and we have about 33% base critical hit chance on our character. Also, try and get critical hit damage, and then you can try and obtain skill damage. Since we're gonna be like doing a lot of craze, having critical hit damage is going to be a big damage booster. Other than that, try and get the beneficial duration on your chest and legs. Then you can try and get that on your belt boost as well. That is gonna extend the duration of our buff skill and some of the gems that we using as well. And now moving forward to the set pieces, we are using 4 pieces of Banquet of Eyes to try and achieve 100% critical hit chance. Since this build is heavily focused on the damage over time, we will be getting 15% increased damage to the enemies who will be under the effect of damage over time, and on the top of that, we will be getting additional 25% critical hit chance at max stacks here. Then we are using 2 pieces of Ritus Arches to extend the beneficial duration, and at the end we are extending the harmful duration of gems like Seeping Bile Poison, Fire from the Rolling Consequence, Bleeding from Blood Flow, and also Horn Coil is considered a debuff gem, harmful gem, and so we extending the effects of Horn Coil onto the enemy for longer. And then we using Spectre Glass, which will also take a benefit from Feasting Baron. So those were the set pieces. And now as for the essences, the first one is for Slow Time. Slow Time now surround you with a static field that follow you, damaging and applying shock to all nearby enemy. And this is going to be extremely important. This is how we will be moving and applying the damage over time to everyone in this large area. This is how basically we're going to do a lot of damage, and this is going to be must because as we apply shock, we will be dealing 50% increased damage from our disintegrate. All the lightning damage that you will be dealing to the shock enemy will be increased by 50%. Then the chest is for the Lightning Nova. Lightning Nova now causes a lightning orb to orbit you, dealing lightning damage to enemies it hit. Then shoulder is for Disintegrate. Disintegrate now surround you with an entropic field that follow you, damaging and making nearby enemies vulnerable to critical hit. Then the legs is for the Meteor. Meteor now empowered you, during which you call a huge meteor to fall at the target location. And this is going to be a huge damage dealing skill versus bosses. As you will be spamming this meteor, your primary will also be doing a lot of damage. They will be doing some explosion damage that we can see is coming from the weapon Equalizer. If we come down and read this, each time you use a skill, your next magic missile turns into a flaming missile if cast within 5 seconds. Explode for ton of damage, and you can accumulate this 3 times. So this is going to be basically a heavy damage dealing combo versus the bosses. And for most monsters, you can basically just walk like this, doing a lot of critical hit damage to them. And when it comes to bosses, just stand there and hit them like this. It is going to be a major damage dealing combo. And the second main hand is going to be for slow time as well. Slow time now also increase your skill damage by 22.8% for 3 seconds. And the duration of this 3 seconds can be extended by having more beneficial duration on our gear pieces and set pieces like the Vitus and Reforge as well. Then our first offhand is for the Lightning Nova. Lightning Nova now also increase your attack and movement speed by 19% for 3 seconds. Again, this 3 seconds can be extended by beneficial duration. And then the second offhand is again for the Lightning Nova. When a Lightning Nova hits a shocked enemy, it unleashes another Lightning Nova. Cannot occur more often than once every 4.5 seconds. And if you guys remember, we will be applying a shock to the enemies from our helm, slow time, and we will be getting one free additional Lightning Nova every time we will be hitting a shocked enemy. It can happen every 4.5 seconds. So there we go, that is the build. And this is how much movement speed we will able to have. Around 33% movement speed. Not the best, but still very comfortable to move in challenge dungeon, dealing damage, having high critical hit chance. And you guys can see I'm basically not even doing anything. No need to spam the buttons, and we still have like a ton of damage with this build. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it. This is my go-to build right now to do dungeon. I don't really need maximum amount of damage in order to do dungeons. This build gives you a perfect balance between a comfortable gameplay. You don't need to button mash. Gives you decent movement speed that you need to go through a challenge dungeon. If it was a normal dungeon, then yes, having more movement speed would be nice. But if you are someone who is playing random dungeon, a challenge dungeon, then this gives you enough movement speed and enough damage to even solo it yourself. So a perfect balance between a movement speed, comfortable gameplay, and damage overall, and a nice big AoE. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it. I'm signing off now. You guys have an excellent day. Take care of yourself. I'll catch you all in the next one later.